I would say we go to Subway, but you don't like Subway.
Subway's fucking gross, dude.
I know you do. Okay.
Sponsored by Subway.
Sponsored by Subway. That's how we're going to start today's episode. Hey guys, welcome to Comic Book Mania. I'm Zach.
I'm Dante.
And we're the Bat Game Boys, and let's talk about comic book news. Because we never just get into it. We delay the inevitable.
Oh yeah, no, we
should just get into it. Because
we need these episodes to be 40 minutes long.
Can you bring up the news thing, please? Like you always do?
Where would you like it today?
Anywhere you want to put it. Right. It just makes me feel better that there's a little...
Did you like last week's?
It's on top of my face. It was great. So bring out news. You can put it on my face again. I don't care.
I'll put it
somewhere. Just you gotta make it appear somewhere like that. Can we make it appear that?
Maybe.
That's okay.
You're gonna look like an idiot.
Okay, I probably. Viola Davis confirmed she is Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad movie. Mm-hmm. She's a great actress, and I can't.
We had this news a while back.
We did. We broke it. We didn't break it, but we talked.
Well,
about
no, because she was one of the speculated ones.
Yeah, we both thought that she was going to be confirmed. As
and I said I wanted Oprah. But
you did want Oprah, and I'm fine.
I still want Oprah.
Oprah would be great, but Viola Davis is a great choice. Donald Glover will neither confirm nor deny reports of talking to executives about becoming Spider-Man, and he will not campaign like he used to become Spider-Man.
We talked about that last week.
I've already said this. I would love for him to play Miles Morales, and that's just my opinion on that. Superman has been casted. Well, is in the process of being casted on Supergirl, so we will get Superman on Supergirl.
So Kal-El will be there,
and then we're getting Jimmy James. Mekhi Brooks as Jimmy Olsen.
Oh,
which I think
Jimmy James.
Jimmy James. I didn't say. I said James or Jimmy Olsen.
No, you said Jimmy James.
Did I? I apologize.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
But there's been speculation that by our page on DCTV Universe News, if you want to go check that out, there's a Facebook page down below. You can go check. There's also, we'll put the DCTVUniverse.com down below. Go read it. We write stories on there and news articles, and you will enjoy it. But one of the articles that was posted on the site by one of our correspondents, Zach, actually kind of predicted, but also I think that's the word, predicted, that he might actually speculated. Thank you, that's the word.
It's a better word.
That Mekhi Brooks, who's going to be playing Jimmy or James Olsen, will be actually the Earth 2 version of Superman. Yes. So check that article out. It's a really good article. It's very well written. Mm-hmm. Margot Robbie says playing a bad guy easier than good guy.
Obvious.
Wrestling analogies are like this too. It's easier to play a heel than a face, which I think is really, really cool.
I think it's just easier to be bad.
The more I hear about her playing Harley Quinn, the more I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think it's really... I would rather see Tara Strong. I think she actually dressed up as the Harley Quinn. Yeah. And it looked amazing, and she's the voice. Joss Whedon says Avengers 2 Climax is unhinged. It's like an amalgamation of a lot of things, and it's going to be insane.
It means there will be no door.
And I cannot wait to see that movie. I'm so excited. Shiler Lay and David Harwood cast in Supergirl.
Okay.
Catwoman in the comics has been confirmed as a bisexual.
Yes, in the latest Batman issue, I believe, she kissed a girl.
Yeah.
She kissed a girl.
I kind of figured. I thought she was. I thought she kissed Ivy once, but that would have killed her.
Ivy probably kissed her because Ivy likes to do that poison kiss thing.
Josh Hutcherson
that never works.
No, it doesn't. They did it in Batman and Robin, and
he was like,
I have whatever it was on his. Josh Hutcherson, who plays Peeta in the Hunger Games, would like to play Spider-Man. Do you see that? Do you see it happening?
Not as Spider-Man.
Who do you... Okay, we haven't talked about this, but who do you want to play? If they have a white Spider-Man, who would you like to play Peter Parker?
I do like the way that Drake Bell plays him on the animated series.
Drake Bell's great. I like that too. I think the guy they got... I don't know if you've seen the Perks of Being a Wallflower, but it's not the guy that's playing Flash, who's Ezra Miller. He was also in that movie. But Logan Lerman, I don't know if you've seen Fury, the tank movie. He's one of the guys in that movie. And
I know who you're talking about.
He seems like a Peter Parker type. You know, ultimately, I would love to see Tobey Maguire take up the mantle again as Peter Parker. But they are setting him in high school again, so it can't happen.
And Tobey Maguire's old.
Yes. Evan Peters, really excited for Quicksilver in Avengers 2. Yeah. Evan Peters played Quicksilver in X-Men Days of Future Past. Margot Robbie also says Suicide Squad movie more like The Dark Knight than Avengers, which I love. I hope it's probably not going to be as good, but it should be really great. because Avengers was more like comic book-y than Dark Knight was. Dark Knight was more of like a crime drama. So maybe well, if the reports are true, Jared Leto's Joker will be the villain of that movie, and it'll be great. I can't wait. There's more Jared Leto news later. Daredevil will be affected by Avengers, which I love. I love that they're going to have
connected universes.
Connected universes and continuity. Continuity, that's the word I was looking for. But connected universes.
They already announced if... I'm not sure if we talked about it on here. When they first started speculating that Spider-Man was going to be with the Marvel Universe, someone at... I can't remember the website. They basically said Spider-Man has already been confirmed in the Marvel Universe. Yes. They predicted it before anyone.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they said a list of who is going to be in the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes.
And I sent you that list.
Yes, you did.
Daredevil was in it.
Yes.
Luke Cage, a.k.a. Jessica Jones.
And Iron Fist was in it.
And Iron Fist. And those are the 4 characters that are in the Netflix series.
So I think the Netflix series is going to set up...
Well, the Netflix series is setting up the Defenders.
Yes,
and then the Defenders are going to join the Avengers.
Infinity Gauntlet,
along with the Guardians.
Anybody that doesn't know, is a big joined team up of everybody versus Thanos, which they're setting up right now with Thanos.
And for those of you that know who Thanos is, you need everybody to fight him.
You do. Dean Cain, who did play Superman already, and Helen Slater, who also played Supergirl, will be in Supergirl, the TV show.
Oh, yeah, they were from the original Supergirl show.
Dean Cain is from The Adventures of Lois and Clark. He played Superman on that show. It was a romantic comedy type of show.
That show.
Yeah, and then Helen Slater used to play the old Supergirl.
Okay.
I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Big news for Arrow and Flash fans. Flash and Arrow spinoff confirmed by Greg Berlanti, the showrunner of both shows. Katie Lotz to reprise her role at... Well, they haven't confirmed she's going to reply as Black Canary, but she's going to be on the show. I love Katie Lotz.
Along with Brandon Ruth.
Along with Brandon Ruth. It's going to be great. We freaked out about this last week, but I didn't know this. Jason Momoa also freaked out about the Aquaman poster, and not in a bad way, though. He said he was like, it looks fantastic, and he loves it. And I gushed about it last week. We both did. I think it's fantastic. I love the look. I think this movie's getting a lot of things wrong, but this is one of the things I like. In really sad geek news, not just comic book news, but geek news, we had to talk about this because it just affected everybody. He was in a lot of stuff. Leonard Nimoy, who's most known for Spock on Star Trek, has passed away. Yes. And a big influence, I think, in both of our lives.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Star Trek show.
The movies were good.
I loved him.
He's been a big voice actor. He was in Kingdom Hearts, which was amazing.
He played in the original Transformers movie.
Yes, he did.
He played in the new Revenge of the Moon.
Yeah, was it Revenge of the Fallen? Whatever it was called. He played the one...
Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon, there we go.
No, not Dark Side of the Moon.
No, that's an album name.
Yeah, it's something of the Moon.
I think it's Dark Side of the Moon. We might have to check that, right. but rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Yes. Thank you for all the joy you've brought to everybody over the years. And we'll dedicate. I think we're going to dedicate this show to Leonard Nimoy. So seriously, why? And if you're a geek, you've already known this, but go watch any of the Star Trek movies. Wrath of Khan is probably.
Go watch any of the old Star Trek
and
TV shows.
He tweeted out something before he died. I don't remember.
Life is like a garden.
It'll prosper even after things die, or something like that. And that just hit everybody.
And then he wrote LL.
Live long and prosper, Leonard Nimoy. Thank you for all that you've done in this world. Marvel's Daredevil showrunner says show is more geared to adults, which I enjoy. I don't think from the trailer it's not.
It's going to be gritty and.
They also showed a picture of how Vince, I can't pronounce his last name.
Kingpin.
How he looks in the show and looks fantastic.
He looks how you want Kingpin to look.
Oh my god, he's bald and everything, and it's great. Even though I loved Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin in the Daredevil movie, which was not that bad as everybody makes it out to be. It's a bad movie, but it's not as bad. Like, I will say it's better than Green Lantern.
I have to rewatch Daredevil.
We just recently watched Green Lantern. I watched it for the first time.
Yeah, I made him watch it.
Yeah. So,
No, scratch that. You made me watch it.
I did, because I really wanted to see it. David Ayer describes Jared Leto's Joker as majestic. Somebody tweeted to him, he was like, describe Joker in Jared's Joker in one word, and he said majestic. Which, last week when we talked about Jared Leto saying he's going to be more Shakespearean Joker, and he's going to be putting on a little bit more weak, and then he tweeted out, David Ayer tweeted out that he has a big surprise for Suicide Squad, and it turned out to be Jared Leto's haircut for the Joker.
Whoa.
I think this is going to be a completely different Joker than what we've seen. It's going to be more of what the comic books had to offer for Joker 2.
I have no guesses, honestly.
I'm glad we don't. That's one of the things I love about this. I think it's going to be great. I think Jared Leto's going to do a fantastic job. You heard it here. If he doesn't, then I will get back on camera in a year from... Is it 2 or a year from now?
I think 1.
I will get back on camera in a year from now and tell you guys I was wrong about Jared Leto.
We'll set it up like in a PSA.
A PSA.
I'm so
Michelle
sorry.
Rodriguez tweeted out, was asked about if she was going to be playing Green Lantern, because she had been rumored to play, and she said, "Stop stealing white superhero roles from white actors." And then she made a video afterwards. She's like, "I put my foot in my mouth. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize to anybody that was offended." I don't care.
I don't see that as a...
I don't see her as Green Lantern. I don't really...
She could be.
She could be, but I just don't see her.
There is a woman Green Lantern.
I just don't see it as her. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will feature director James Gunn's favorite superhero. I have no idea. Maybe Nova, finally? We'll get finally a Nova sighting?
I don't know. I mean, that's why I love Joss Whedon. He read the comics.
No, it's not Joss Whedon.
Who is it?
It's James Gunn.
That's right. Even so.
Do you want to go take a seat in the corner for
No,
right
I'm
now?
fine. I thought you said Joss Whedon.
No,
I'm tired.
I have no idea.
Well, even so, James Gunn and Joss Whedon.
They both
grew up reading the comics.
So, yeah, I look forward to seeing who
And for the Guardians to they're going to clash with the Avengers.
Well, he says it's not setting up anything for Avengers. He might be playing everybody, but I don't know. We'll take it at face value. Andrew Lincoln says he would not be surprised if Negan did not appear in the not-too-distant future.
And we will speak more of that, because huge episode.
Yes, we have to talk about it. And then there's 2 more root news. It all has to do with Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. tweeted out last week that he had a big announcement to make for today, and he tweeted out finally that it's a charity contest for Age of Ultron premiere, which is really cool. I think if you donate the most money, you go to the premiere with him.
That's not fair. I'm poor.
Or you raise enough money or something like that.
I'm poor.
Yeah, we're not going to the premiere of Age of Ultron 2. We will be there midnight to watch the movie.
The Chamonix Mall, we're coming for you.
Thursday night.
I was going to finish that, but...
Okay. And then, finally, Robert Downey Jr. may appear in a Spider-Man movie.
The new Amazing Spider-Man.
Not Amazing Spider-Man.
I think what they should do for the Spider-Man series, bring Peter Parker.
Okay.
Keep Peter Parker.
And then bring in another Spider-Man?
No. Have it the spectacular, or the superior Spider-Man storyline.
Like
the most recent one.
The one with Doc Ock?
Yes.
Okay, so they make Doc Ock take him over. Okay.
Yes.
That's a really good comic series, too.
That would keep...
And then it brings in the Amazing Spider-Man back.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I could see it happening. That'd be pretty cool.
I think that would bring some interest in it.
A really cool twist is we don't need to see Spider-Man, the origin story again. I'm sorry.
No.
We've talked about this already. But thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes.
This is the time where most of you leave and go off and not watch our TV spoilers. And for those who stay, thank you so much. But thank you guys all for watching. We'll be back next week for more comic book news. I'm Zach.
I'm Dante.
And
comment,
and subscribe.
And as always, I love you.
And we'll see you next week.
See ya. Now on to spoilers.
Spoilers for TV shows. Let's talk about
Gotham.
We're going to go on a little break for a minute.
Are we?
And then we're going to go
Why?
and talk about Gotham.
Why?
Gotham.
Whee! Here I go. Whee!
Oh, we're going in hot pilot.
Was that a Irish/Russian accent?
I don't know.
That's
what happens when Russia takes over Ireland.
That is what happens.
Later this year. Russian.
Russian. That sounds like iZombie, which will be on the show.
Which also sounds like iRobot, which we may review.
We only... The movie?
Yeah.
With Will Smith?
Yeah.
Is that a comic movie?
Sucked.
Well, we did suck. But there's only three TV shows we have to talk about this week, because Constantine ended, and Flash is on break, and then Arrow's going on break this next week.
Yeah, so we have...
So 2 shows. It's going to be a couple short shows for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
When does Arrow come back? The 27th? Or
Something like
23rd? Something like that?
The same night as... The night after
the next week.
Arrow.
Okay.
So Flash.
It's the week after Flash comes out.
I thought it was the same week.
No, it's the 20
We'll talk.
Alright, we'll talk about it when it happens. Let's talk about Gotham.
Alright.
Do you want me to begin this
I
episode?
thought you were, because I missed the first 13 episodes.
Okay, so
I have
basically,
13 minutes.
It started out with the
Red Hood gang.
The Red Hood gang. He finds a Red Hood on the floor. Which I thought was weird. And the guy reminded me of Deadpool mixed with Joker. Which this whole episode has Joker-ish things about it, which makes me think they threw us off last week, or whenever it was, when they had Joker appear. They're robbing the bank, and the guy that has the red hood on gets on top, and he starts making jokes. He's like, "We're not here to rob you, we're here to rob the bank." And he's one of the security guards is on the floor. He grabs a gun, and he's an old guy. He starts shooting at him, and he misses. So this guy thinks, "Oh, I'm unbeatable." They get out of the bank. As they're doing this, they have a guy that's timing how long the response team for the cops come in. So they get out of there, and the cops come in, and then the Red Hood gets on top of a car, and he starts throwing money. He's like, "Gotham, we're here to give you money." And they call him the Red Robin Hood Gang, which I thought was interesting. And then they go back to their hideout, and Jim Gordon appears, and they look at the crime scene. And then the guy.
That's all I missed.
That's basically all you missed.
Right, yeah, because my DVR sucks. So.
And then the guy, he's arguing with the group, the main guy, and he's like, "This gives me power. I'm invincible." And he gets on top of a car, and he has the red hood on, and one of his members just shoots him, and he's like, "Talk about power now," and then he dies.
The fat one?
Yeah, the fat one.
I assume so.
And then they go to rob a bank again.
And now the fat one's in charge.
Yes.
And he goes to jump on top of the table. Yes. And he can't fit.
And he's like, "Let me help." He's like, I got it." And the guy helps him up, and everything was funny.
And then he's robbing the bank, and
one of the hostages is like, "Hey, Red Hood, give me some money." He's like, "You
hey,
shut
what
up."
about the rest of us? And he goes, "Nah."
And then they throw him money.
Like, "Fine, you want money? Nah,
and then Harvey makes a funny joke. He's like,
this was before that.
No, this was during it. They strike again. It was the second robbery.
Yeah, but it was before.
No, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about they're in the precinct, and he's got the newspaper, and he's like, "If they're more popular than cops, how are we supposed to stop them?"
Oh, he says anarchy.
Anarchy. And then before that, they're looking for the main guy, and they go to the fridge where he's at. Harvey opens it, and you can tell
the guy's just sitting there, and then
dead.
Yeah,
he's not just sitting in a fridge. He's dead.
And then Harvey grabs a soda, opens it, and Jim gives him a look, and he goes, "What if I don't drink it? Then forensics is going to drink it."
So they go after the gang. Basically, one of the guys. They're all turning on each other at this point.
Yeah.
One of the guys, the fat dude, goes back to his house, and one of his partners is already there, rummaging through, looking for the red hood.
Before that, how they, because you got to remember that Jim Gordon and Harvey found out who it is.
They did. They set up a lineup with a witness.
The guy that was across the street where their van was parked, he saw him unmask himself, and he noticed which one. So he finally pinpoints it, and Jim goes, "We'll just tail him." So they tail him to his apartment. He goes inside, and then the camera goes to inside the apartment.
Yep.
And we see the fat guys there, and his the one guy who in the earlier was timing.
Yeah.
He has a stutter.
And he's like, "I need the red hood. I have to go. I have to help out my family."
No. It's his girlfriend. His girlfriend is going to leave him.
Yeah, and he has to scare her. And basically, he's like, "You're going to have to kill me." And he shoots him. And the guy's dying or
Shoots
not.
him twice.
So he grabs the red hood, he leaves. And then Harvey and Gordon come up, and they're arguing with him. And he's like, "Can I get some help here?" And he throws him a towel. He's like, "Help yourself." And he's like, "I got to put some pressure on it."
Before that, Harvey tries to use it to his advantage and tries to interrogate him. And he's like, "Call me a damn ambulance." And he goes, Tell us where your gang's at.
My phone's broken right now.
Oh, I can't get any bars.
And then Gordon's like, "Fuck you, I'm just going to call an ambulance for him." All right. So, and then they basically catch him.
Well, they,
we'll talk about the other storylines after this.
They pull up because they find out the banks that they're hitting up, they turned this guy down for,
because he's a pastry chef.
Yeah, he wanted to open a bakery. And they turned him
down. Like, "You don't look like no pastry chef." He's like, "I'm the best damn pastry chef you'll ever meet."
Yeah. So
they find out where the other one's going to hit.
So they all pull up, and they're about to walk in, and they go, "We need to get out of here, man. We need to get out of here." And he goes, "I'm not going down."
The cops are there already.
And they just start a shootout, and the dude in the red hood, I like this scene. because he's just walking across the street slowly. Just
No, but it's very, like, the cops can't shoot him. Like, I understood why they did it. It's for TV.
Yeah.
But it's like...
It's like any action movie ever.
It's like, he would have been shot immediately.
Oh, yeah.
The guy in the red hood would have been shot immediately. So his other two associates get killed, and he's like, I will never die, I'm invincible, basically. And then, who shoots him? I think it was Gordon or Harvey?
All of them
shoot him.
Every cop shot him.
And then they pick up the hood and...
and then Gordon receives a phone call.
No, before that, Gordon says the line from the comic. He's like, this is a symbol that'll live forever.
Oh, yeah.
The red hood, because anybody can put it on.
Yeah.
And then he gets a phone call from somebody about somebody being in the hospital.
Now we'll jump over.
So let's talk about that story last. We'll talk about
Fish Mooney?
Mooney's story because it was weird.
Yeah, she's basically talking to the Dr. Dahlmacher.
No, and I thought that's not
Dr. Dahlmacher's associate.
Yeah, and he's like, they talked last week. She got a shower finally, and he's like, you have no leverage here.
Yeah.
He's like, your eyes.
Your eyes are beautiful.
They'll give us a lot on the black market, and she's like, you can't have. If I can't have my eyes, you can't have mine. She takes a spoon.
Well, no, he goes. You have two options. One, you go downstairs,
and you let me have my experiments again.
Two,
or we get your eyes.
We take your eyes, and then we see how long you last downstairs. And she goes, or there's a third option. He goes, meh. She grabs a spoon and spoons her eye out, and then looks on the ground
and smushes it. And
yeah, and
my jaw dropped, and I was like,
she passes out.
I was like, oh, that's a thing that happened, and there's a thing that happens in The Walking Dead that we'll talk about later that made me think that can actually happen now with Carl. Coral.
Yeah.
You texted me Coral last night too. It's like, okay. So yeah, she passes out, and that's the end of Fish's Mooney storyline right now.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Barbara was in this episode. Let's talk about Bruce.
Can we not? Can we just... basically,
Selena, no, I did like...
Selena calls her a whore, basically.
Well, no.
The speech she gives to Selena.
Yeah.
It leads to what Selena becomes in the future.
Which I liked.
But Barbara, as a character, just... It's like Laurel from season 1. Laurel was... Coral and Laurel.
Laurel, and Barbara.
She's the worst character on the show. I mean, does she become a Batgirl in the show, or does her daughter? Her daughter becomes
Oracle, and then gets her legs healed somehow. And
I thought she's Batgirl first, and then she becomes Oracle because she loses her legs.
No, in the Killing Joke, remember?
That's when she becomes Oracle. I remember
because
that.
Because he's like, hey, let me talk to your father. Bang, bang.
God, it was a great story. So yeah, basically Selena is there. She wants to dress up Selena and Ivy, and she shows her all her dresses. She's like, pick anyone that fits, and then she puts.
I was joking about. We don't have to talk about.
Let's just talk about because the one scene that she does tell her is really, really interesting.
Basically, all she says is you can use your
looks for power. It'll be better than any knife. And then Selena looks at her.
It doesn't look like it's working for you.
And I was like, ooh, wrecked. It was great. That scene was all worth it for Selena. That's it.
And then a bunch of men just ran in. They're like, oh, we told you.
That was that hype man right there. Yeah. So let's talk about I think the most interesting part about this episode.
Yes.
Oh, we have to talk about one more part.
Ooh.
Penguins.
Oh yeah.
I think they're trying to
I think Butch is officially
Penguin's guy.
Yeah.
But also, I think they're kind of like cutting the legs underneath Penguin as a character because
they realize he has too much momentum.
They're making him an idiot at this point. We all like
Penguin is an idiot in the comics,
but
from what he went from to now, he has gotten stupider, and that's how he's
gotten complacent. Not stupid. I would say complacent because he has the power. He doesn't need to work as hard, but. He's basically failing at everything. He needs help with everything.
Yeah.
Butch gets him the alcohol that Maroney's been stopping.
That was the Joker reference of the week.
Which part? What is that one?
At Oswald's, there's a comedian.
Oh, the comedian, yeah.
And he's really
There's
bad.
2 Joker references in this episode.
Yeah, it's just some stupid... He's really bad at what he does, and everyone starts booing him.
I don't think we've been introduced to the Joker yet. I still say that. Unless we have and we just don't know.
Unless the guy on the stage, the bad comedian, was the Joker. Or that little boy from last week was the Joker. Or the Red Hood Gang is the Joker.
Is Joker older than Batman?
No, they're about the same age. Well,
are they?
According to the newest comic, and I'm not joking...
The 52, right?
No. The newest Batman comic. Okay. I swear to you, this is the storyline. The Joker has always been around. He's been around since the beginning of time. And
so he's immortal.
Yes. That's not. I kid you not.
They could explain it with the what's the thing? Ra's al Ghul.
No,
They don't
he's
explain
just,
it that way?
No, he's just always been around.
Maybe it's different people, they just haven't explained it right.
It's, oh god, it's so stupid.
So yeah, Penguin's Oswald.
Penguin and Butcher working together now.
Yes. And
So.
what I loved was you look at Butcher's face, he's got the
And he's got the scars.
I was like, oh, that is awesome. I like the guy that got to play Zaz on this show.
Oh yeah, he's perfect.
Wasn't he? Who was he before?
He was the
Weatherman on Flash, right?
No, he was the Mist.
Oh, the Mist on Flash. Is he still locked up in Flash? he got himself out and became Zaz on Gotham. So let's talk about let's talk about. Well, they actually don't know if they're connected or not. I don't know. It's not. Let's talk about the most interesting part of this episode, which there are a lot of implications.
The Bruce and Alfred.
Bruce and Alfred.
Which, for you to say that this was the most interesting part,
I haven't liked a lot of Bruce. Alfred is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters on the show.
Oh yes,
the way the take they have on him, like, it's a lot different. It's a comic. This is a different comic book version. They have all different ones, and this is the one where he's in the war.
Yeah,
and he's more hardened, and I love it. And one of his old war mates comes in the middle of the night,
Rich Payne,
and I immediately liked him.
That's a badass
his name. I was like, this guy's gonna be awesome. And they showed a trailer of some guy fighting Bruce. I thought it was some guy that we didn't know about. And then he's basically training him. He teaches him,
hit me harder.
He's basically teaching him tactics that Alfred's not teaching him.
Yeah,
and he's like,
teaching him dirty.
He's like, you gotta use weapons, and he hands him a cane.
He's like, I can't hurt you. You're bigger than me.
He's used that to your advantage.
He's like, take me out of the knee, the ankle, any part of the leg.
And I was like,
and then he's like, use a weapon, and grabs him a cane and throws it to him. And Alfred's like, I think we're done here.
And he makes him bleed, which I thought was awesome.
Well, because he haymakers him like 4 times.
And then they sit down for a nice wine tasting, kind of, and everything, and they're having a really nice conversation.
Rich is getting drunk. He's like, Alfred goes, the good thing is to let this sit out for an hour.
And he just drinks it. But earlier, when they're when they first meet together again, they're having that awesome conversation about what happened to Rich, and it's like character development for Alfred too, which I loved. And then we get the big reveal of the episode that
Rich is actually working for the business people in Wayne Enterprise.
What happens before that is he's leaving and he's stealing stuff from them. We don't know what it was at first, which I thought he was just stealing stuff from them. So he stabs Alfred.
Well, Alfred goes, you don't have to steal, you don't have to ask, you can ask for money, I will help you.
And he's
he
like,
goes,
I don't want to
know how hard that is for me. And then he goes, this is even harder, and
stabs Alfred, and I
did like the Saving Private Ryan aspect of the way after he was stabbed.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm talking about, how he gets stabbed and the voices are silent, but you can still hear them.
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, Alfred! Alfred! And he's trying to stop him, and he gets on the phone.
Really powerful moment of the episode. I really liked it. I think it's going to lead to Alfred becoming hardened even more. Like, he can't trust anybody.
Yeah.
But the only guy he can trust is Bruce.
Yeah.
And he says really sweet, when he's talking to, after they fight, him and Bruce, when Payne is training him, he's like, Alfred, I think Bruce says to him, thank you, Alfred, and he's like, no, I should be he says to Payne, I should be thanking that kid, because he's made me a better person. I was like, that is awesome, I love this Alfred.
But then,
they're in the meeting room.
Gets the phone call, and he drops the Red Hood mask, and leads to the hospital. Needed. And so, I love this part.
I didn't think this was needed. I thought this was very unnecessary.
Wait, are you talking about the Red Hood part?
Yes.
No, I'm talking about the hospital scene.
Oh, the hospital scene, yes.
I love that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Where Bruce is standing at
he's crying,
his bedside, and he's crying, and Gordon goes, I'm sorry this happened, and Bruce says, I can't lose him, he's all I have.
Really
and
powerful.
I was like, oh.
Really powerful. I haven't liked this kid that they got to play Bruce, but this episode and the last couple episodes previously have made me appreciate this character more.
Yeah.
And I think this is the breaking point for Bruce.
Yes.
That makes him finally... I think where they're going... I think Season 1 is going to end with Bruce leaving. And I think Season 2 might time jump. Because I think they might do it where Oswald finally...
the story isn't about Bruce.
Batman. It's not really about Bruce Wayne or Batman. I know that.
The story's about Gotham.
But I think they want to head towards that direction.
So what I was gonna also say was that after that, then a kid picks up the Red Hood mask, puts it on, and goes. Which I like that because he puts it on and goes like this.
Like I understand why they put it in there because the Red Hood origin story right there.
Yeah, but honestly, my least favorite part of this episode was the was afterwards, and they do those scenes from next week.
Yeah.
Because they did it again, and they go, "You've seen every villain that Gotham has to offer."
I didn't see that part. What did
They showed Riddler
Yeah.
and Penguin and Fish and then they're like, "But there's one more you haven't met," and it's Dr. Dahlmacher, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's the villain?"
I thought we had met him. No, I want to meet Clayface as a little baby Clayface.
Well, no, because
We have to go talk about Arrow now. Let's talk about Arrow now.
all right,
You just missed an entire conversation we just had. This is basically the Climb 2.0. This is the Climb 2.0. They have to go back to Ra's al Ghul's.
Yeah.
What was it called, Dante? What was it called?
Panda Narbot.
It's Nanda Parbat.
You were
Thank
about to say Nardo.
I was. I think the best part of this episode,
Yeah.
it is Ray finally getting the suit to work.
Yeah.
After he has sex with Felicity. I made the joke to you. I was like, men always get things done after they have sex.
Yeah, him and Felicity. There weren't huge moments. In
There
this
were huge. I think the twist at the end was the biggest moment.
I did not like this episode.
I liked it. I thought it wasn't as good.
I thought it was a decline from the past episodes.
Okay, I could see it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's a lot more character building in this episode, especially for Thea.
Thea?
Thea.
Thea?
They basically capture Talia al Ghul. She's looking for Malcolm because Thea finally tells Laurel that she killed Sarah, and she tells Nyssa too. And Laurel goes after Malcolm by herself to go kill him.
She's so smart.
And then the League of Assassins come in, and Nyssa takes him.
And they're like, "We got this."
And then Laurel's, Nyssa's like, "I understand why you want to beat him, but I'm going to do this myself, and I'm going to kill him." And Team Arrow comes in.
Laurel's like, "I can help."
And
maybe.
Yeah, so Malcolm gets taken, and Arrow, what's his name? Oliver is very angry at Thea for telling everyone. And,
God, you told all my friends.
And Laurel's very angry, but
Yes.
Laurel forgives what's her face, Thea, and they take Nyssa hostage. And I think that was one of my favorite scenes. Is like, it's gonna be very hard to get information out of her, and Oliver gets it in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And he goes out. He's like, Diggle's like, "That was quick." And I love what Diggle says to Malcolm in the beginning. He's like, because he calls him John, and he's like, "My friends call me Dig." And he's like, "You can call me John Diggle." And he walks off, and he calls him Diggs. I was laughing.
Yeah,
I was
like,
like,
"Alright,
that's
Diggs."
great. Oliver and Diggle go to get Malcolm back, and they get captured. It's a trap, basically, that Ra's al Ghul was setting up.
Well, no, before that, this part made me laugh.
What
when
part?
they're, setting up, and they're like, "So, that's Nanda Parbat. We have to get there. We have to get in quietly. We can't be seen by anyone." You just see arrows fall.
Fire arrows, still.
Yeah, he was like, "I think we've been spotted."
They have a really cool action scene with him and Diggle, which I loved. I posted about this.
I did like the one guy tried to run away,
And
he was like, "Nope."
And I was like, did Oliver just gain his killer instinct back this episode?
Basically.
Roy has a really good moments in this episode. Like, he tells Thea how to deal with the finding out that he killed someone he didn't know, and he takes her to the woman's house of the officer he killed.
I give them groceries, I give them money.
And I even got Johnny a Boba Fett doll for Christmas, and he looks like he's about to cry. I was like, this is the Roy I've wanted to see.
And she's like, "I want to leave." I'm like, "Shut up."
And Roy's
Thea.
like, "They don't know it's me, but it makes me feel better about what's going on." And I thought that was really good. I thought it gives another layer to Roy. And Diggle's been trying to ask Oliver a favor throughout this entire episode. And I'm thinking, because he's talking to Lila first.
Yes.
And he's looking at Sarah, and I'm thinking, oh, he's asking Oliver to be his godfather. Okay.
His godfather?
I mean, Sarah's godfather.
"Ollie, will you be my godfather?"
And then they get captured, and Ollie finally admits
He's trying to break.
Ollie finally admits why he wants to go after Roz so bad. He's like, he beat me,
Yeah.
and I can't have someone that beat me living right now.
Yeah.
So,
That's really egotistical.
yeah, that's what he says. He's like, I'm a very egotistical guy. And then Diggle's like, Oliver's like, what did you have to ask me? You've been... And Diggle's like, this is not the time nor place to ask it. He's like, humor me. If we don't die, what did you want to ask me? And I want to be your best... I want you to be my best man. And I was like, oh, I love this! And then I was like, Diggle's going to die. I told you, in the beginning of Season 3, I told you, this is setting up for the ending of Diggle dying, and it's going to be so sad.
Or Diggle's gonna die, and a bullet's gonna come at him, and it's gonna be stopped by a green force field, and he's gonna turn into
We're
Jon
getting
Stewart.
Green Lantern. Or he'll go into the Lazarus pit and be restored. And we get Diggle back. Because I don't want to lose Diggle.
Yeah. So basically the Atom suit works for flying. We don't know if it works for anything else.
We haven't seen the shrinking abilities yet. And then we get the big reveal of the episode, which is Ra's al Ghul does not want to kill Oliver, but make him the next Ra's al Ghul. Which my mind went, what? How do they do that?
Carefully.
Gotta put him in the Lazarus pit, him in the Lazarus pit, and then combine them.
Things gotta go places.
But have they done this in the comics?
Yes.
You're more of a...
It was Batman.
Batman became Ra's al Ghul?
He was asked to.
I know he was asked to.
And then he was like,
Arkham City touched on that with Talia. And I think they're actually going to bring in Talia.
I hated that fucking game.
No,
I liked the game. I hated that part.
What? Oh, with that
Because you had to fly down, and then you guys go up, and then you have to go down.
No, my favorite, that part, remember when they come out of the walls and everything, you have to fight the ninjas and everything? That's great. Little tangent. But yeah, the big reveal is he wants them to become Ra's al Ghul, and that's where the break takes. They go on break for a couple weeks.
And it upset some people because they're like, that's Batman's rules. Stop making him Batman.
But they can't bring in Batman in this.
Yes,
but
can.
It brings up two possibilities. He could become Ra's al Ghul, have a bigger army to fulfill his father's wishes. Or two, he could refuse.
Or he could say he's going to be Ra's al Ghul and then kill Ra's al Ghul. And then he's like, look who's your leader now, bitches.
But that's basically he becomes Ra's al Ghul.
Well, no, because then he's like, you're free.
Does Ra's al Ghul die if he becomes Ra's al Ghul?
Ra's al Ghul can never die.
Well, if
that's the thing of Ra's al Ghul.
So wait, what happens to him if Oliver becomes Ra's al Ghul?
Fine.
He just stays like Grandpappy Ra's al Ghul?
Basically, he's basically there because Ra's al Ghul will never die.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Well, if he stays in the Lazarus pit, he won't never die.
If he takes his daily bath.
They showed it. He's just basically like
looked like a bubble bath.
I was like, that's the infamous Lazarus pit.
I was expecting it to be green.
Green, yeah, that's what I was expecting. But I guess when he becomes
the comics showed it as green.
Yeah.
The game showed. The TV shows have shown it as green.
The movies, the
movies,
yeah.
And then he's just sitting there and he's like, "This is my Lazarus pit. It's water."
Well, that could be like the red herring. That couldn't be the Lazarus pit. It could be something else.
No, they've.
Has it been confirmed?
As far as I know, they've said.
So you didn't like this episode. I liked it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as everything else, but
it wasn't as good as the Flash going on their hiatus.
No, but I think it finally gives this season an
meaning,
end point and a meaning, because this season's been like, by this time last year, Slade was already back in Starling.
Slade was going ham
and was killing people left and right, and it had more focus. Yeah. This has finally got more focus of what's going to happen for the rest of the season.
Exactly.
And they showed the preview of them having dinner together, like, oh, you're going to be Ra's al Ghul? And it made me laugh. So yeah, it was Arrow.
Will you be Ra's al Ghul?
So with that, we'll be back with Arrow Talk in a couple weeks after Flash comes back. And let's get on to the last show of the week. We're only down to 2 shows next week to talk about. So this show will be very short.
Yes.
And let's talk about...
I cannot wait to talk about this. But let's
talk about Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Oh my god, The Walking Dead. That was such a good episode. So thanks guys for watching. Oh, we didn't talk about it yet, did we?
We have to talk about The Walking Dead. So... there are comic book references at the wazoo this episode.
Jesus, Daddy fucking Christ.
Jesus is a character that may be coming into The Walking Dead. Yes. But one of the big differences that the comic books did differently, Deanna is actually
No.
Douglas.
I brought this up last week.
Did you?
I said I can't wait for Douglas to appear.
Yes.
And technically he did.
But it's Deanna.
But it's Diana.
Diana, whatever it is. I think it's Diana.
I know they said it weird.
I loved the interview process of this episode. Because we got good quotes from Rick, good quotes from Michonne. We got
Carol was a fucking freak.
We got lies from Carol, because she said she still misses Ed, which made me laugh.
I missed that.
She says it. She's like, I really still miss I think her husband, and she doesn't, because her husband was a wife beater.
Well,
and then
she might.
Daryl's taking up the Michonne place of the comic books, where he is...
He's like, I ain't touching any of this.
I am not okay with this.
Beds.
I am not okay with this. I want to be back out in the wilds.
The part that made me laugh before, in the beginning.
Oh, when they get when he kills the possum.
There's a barrel falls down and
he kills a possum.
Like he shoots a possum and picks it up, and the 2 people that are guarding the gate, it's Aaron and some other guy.
Pete? No, Pete's the other guy.
Yeah, it's someone else, and they're there, and he goes, I brought dinner. And they're just like, okay.
And Rick gives the speech when he's giving the interview. He's like, you guys should have your gates closed. He's like, why? It's all about survival at this point.
That was at the end, though, wasn't it?
No, they show it at the end, but that's in the interview process. Michonne's
Rick shaved!
I freaked out because I'm like, I haven't seen that man shaved in seasons. Like,
it was the best because Michonne grabs his face and goes, there was something under there.
And Diana says it too. She's like,
"You look good."
I didn't understand. I didn't know.
Everyone was flirting with him. They're like,
and then we meet a major character from the comics as well.
Jesse.
Is her name Jessie?
Jesse.
With her son Ron.
We have to cook.
And for whoever's
we have to cut hair.
Whoever's read the comics knows where this is leading to. Your terrible Walter White impression.
We have to cut hair.
Yeah, well, Rick gets a haircut. He looked. I'm sorry.
I don't want to cut hair, Mister.
When he said that, I was like, "Take it back, give it back, put the beard back on him, please."
Well, no, I did like. He looks like the comic now.
When he becomes the constable.
It's constable, not constable.
It's Constantine.
You're putting the emphasis on the wrong part.
It's Constantine. So everybody's getting jobs, and Rick and Michonne are like...
That's the best. I have a job for everyone, except
you and you. Rick and Michonne.
Rick, Michonne, and I'm still trying to figure you out, Daryl. You silly goose.
Daryl's like cutting something up at the point. He's like, I'm gonna cut this bitch.
Well, no, the best was, Rick's like, alright, everyone go explore, go have fun. And Daryl's on the front porch, he's cutting open the possum, and he's like, organs here. No, and he's like, go explore, Daryl, and he goes... No.
This was in the comics, but it made me laugh because I knew it was coming because they first get into the town and everybody's walking around and he loses Judith and Carl.
Well, Judith and Carl's pushing Judith in the stroller and then he looks up the street and he can't see them anymore.
And I'm laughing. It's a bat. Why I'm laughing, I don't know. But I'm like, he's looking for Carl. Get him, Carl. And it made me laugh. And
then he's running and he's freaking out. And I like the way they did this scene. How
yeah.
They did
you know who directed this episode? Greg Nicotero.
I figured.
He does great work when he directs these episodes. It's like what they did with the barn. That kind of scene where the light stream and everything. Yeah. It's really cool.
Oh, there was something else we forgot to mention.
Which part?
This also reference to Rick having like a big role.
Yeah.
In being like the protector.
Oh yeah.
Because he when they're walking in and they're about to close the gates, you hear a noise and they all look behind them. And Rick goes, Sasha, and he behind you. She aims, shoots, and he looks at them and goes, you're welcome. And then they close the gates. I was like, damn!
He understands that they're not ever going to be okay. But I think Carl says it, they're having a talk, and he's like, I don't want to get soft like them, Dad. I don't want to.
Well, that's because he goes and hangs out with Ron.
And he cries.
Oh, well, we talk about where Judith and Carl went.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking to an old couple, and there hasn't been a baby.
The old couple's been like, I haven't seen a baby in a while.
Well, no, Jesse's saying it.
And then she's like, the only thing you gotta worry about is pinched cheeks and everything.
I was like, doll. And she goes, well, can Carl come over? Because Ron really wants to meet him.
So we meet...
And he's like, yeah!
We meet Ron, Jesse's son.
Ron, Edith.
Edith is a character that wasn't in
Edith's fucking weird.
Edith is the replacement for the girl, Sophia, in the comic.
Really?
Yeah.
No. I don't think so.
It's gonna end up being that way. It's a love interest.
Well, you also got to take into account. Remember what she did in this episode?
She goes. She goes
outside the walls.
Well, she was a weird character in the comic books too, Sophia, and she ends up being a weirder character later on. But we won't talk about that later. Isn't it the same girl?
No.
Who's the other?
Sophia's Carol's daughter.
Well, yeah, this would be the replacement for it then.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
That's a different person, Zach.
Then it has to be her. Cause
no, I think... Okay, I'm just going to say it now. I think this girl's working for Negan.
What girl would that be?
Edith!
Was Edith...
Edith's the weird girl. It's sitting on the bed. And they're like, she's also from the outside.
Is she from the comics?
No!
Okay, so
I'm just saying...
You think... Okay.
Jesus
So
Christ.
You think they will bring in Negan in this
Yes!
season. Okay, good. All right. But I think...
Well, no, not in this season.
I think they are. I think season 5 is going to end with... season 6?
Season 5. This is 5.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think season 5 is going to end with something else. But, so yeah, he starts crying because we should play video games, and he's like...
hey, you want to play video games? Or we can go to Tim's house and we can play pool.
And he's like crying because...
his dad's anal about it. And he goes, no, we can go. My dad's at home. He's at work.
Yeah, and you see Carl crying because...
He's freaked out. He doesn't know what to do.
No, he hasn't had a teenage experience in like forever. Well, ever.
We could play video. Oh, and he's reading the comic and he goes, is this yours? And he goes,
because he's...
he's a weirdo.
I think for the cat... because Carl even asked her when he...
It took her 3 weeks to talk.
I think you might be right that she might be working for Negan. So, yeah, they lead up to where Deanna, whatever, tells Rick and Michonne, she finally is like, oh, we forgot, they take Tara, Glenn, and what was it? Abraham
No.
or Eugene? Eugene.
No.
Who was it? It was Tara.
It's someone
Glenn,
they shouldn't have taken out on the...
Tara, Glenn, and who else was it?
Noah.
Was it Noah? Oh yeah, with the limpy ass foot.
But as they're out on their patrol, they're like, we lost our last group.
To a walker.
And we string
What
them
did they
up.
call him? It was like a dead hopper or some shit like that?
I don't know. Roamers.
Dead roamers, yeah. And they try to tie him up, and Tara gets a hold of it.
And his back comes off, and I was like, ew!
Rips, I was like, oh, it's disgusting.
So they lose him, and then he's about to bite Tara, so Glenn
Comes up.
But it's the person that took them out is Diana's son.
Yes.
Who Douglas also had a son.
It was the same way in the comic books, yes.
He was
Same
from the
way.
ROTC, did all that jazz, and he was even a D-bag.
Yes. That leads to a lot of stuff in the
Yes.
comics, too, which is, I can't wait for.
And so, they go out, and he's even being a D-bag now. He's saying, like, you gotta listen to me, follow all my rules, do what I say, and you'll survive.
They get back to town.
And Glenn's like, bruh, I've been
You
out there
don't-
longer than you.
You don't want to
Come.
do this. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. This
So
is
they
gonna be
get
great.
back, and they start arguing, and he's like, you trying to start something, bro?
And he pushes Glenn. He keeps pushing.
goes, "Start."
Noah comes up. He's like, you better not do it.
Well, no, Tara starts it, and she's like, stop, stop, and then Noah's like, dude, you don't know what you're doing. So the kid swings, Glenn ducks, and just punches him once in the face, and the kid goes down. And then the other guy that was with him comes out.
I did this.
He goes to go after Glenn, and Daryl runs over, lifts him up, and just
And he's
slams
like,
him on the ground and starts
you're
choking
going to
him.
lose your life right now if you get involved in this. And I'm like, Daryl, stop
And
it.
then it was great, because Rick comes up, and he goes, Daryl, you don't have to do it. Shh, knock it off, man.
Soft kitty, warm kitty.
So then they basically separate them,
And
then
Deanna's like-
Diana runs over, and she goes, what's going on? Stop!
She's like, good thing you punched him because he was...
She was like, thanks for knocking him on his ass.
I was like, okay. And then Jesse and Rick are starting a little, like, relationship because... Well, not
Well,
relationship.
we meet that Jesse has a husband. His name is Pete.
And Rick is going out at night and he's like...
And you
"So
see a guy
you're
smoking,
Rick.
and he's like, yeah, Rick.
I heard my wife gave you a haircut.
I'm a husband.
Welcome to Alexandria. And I was like, douchebag. And Rick does something to this guy
Yeah.
that's going to be amazing.
But so Rick basically gets the constable job, with Michonne also being a constable, and then he wears the outfit.
And it's from the comics. It looks exactly like
Yes.
I thought it would.
But one of my favorite scenes from this episode was when Carol goes out and she's
Oh,
like,
with
I'm
that-
gonna go
with
make
Daryl.
casseroles. And Daryl's like, you look stupid. And she goes, go shower, I'm gonna
hold you
hose
down.
down in the middle of the night.
Daryl and Carol, I think, are my favorite.
But they're all staying in the same house, which they did in the comics.
And Diana comes up.
Scratch that. They're all staying in the same room.
Yes. And Diana comes up and she visits the house and she's
you're
like,
staying in the room.
she's like, you told me you were a family. I couldn't believe that people from different backgrounds and races would get together like this. And that's when she gives them the jobs.
And then she shoots Michonne. No, I'm just kidding.
They go outside. It's him, Michonne, Daryl, and I think Carol. And Rick is like, it's good here. We're going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
But if we
No, it was just Carol. No, it was Michonne,
Daryl, and I guess Michonne. I guess it was them three.
Rick, Michonne. It might have been Carol.
And then he's like, they're either going to agree with us or
Or
we'll
we're gonna
take it by
over.
force. And I'm like, that's a scene from the comic book, and I'm excited, and I'm all excited.
But one thing I did want to talk about, Rick goes out on his own. He leaves.
Oh, that part,
He goes and, walks out, and then it
was basically father-son bonding, killing zombies.
And this is
time.
after Carl talked about them getting weak.
them getting soft, yeah.
And so he goes over to the. He left a gun in a blender.
And someone took
And
it.
someone took it, and he's like, "Who the fuck took my fucking?"
Then
blender
there's
gun?"
zombies following him behind. We should call it walkers because they won't call it zombies, but whatever.
And he's like, he goes, "All right, ready, Carl?" And they just start going ham, and then Rick's leg gets grabbed by one, and he goes to
he grabs a pipe and is about to stab him.
and Carl goes, "Dad."
Dad, give it to me. I was like, father-son bonding is fun.
I love that episode.
It was really good.
I thought it was a great episode.
The season is on a roll right now.
Yeah.
And I think there's only like a couple episodes. 3 episodes left.
It ends on my birthday.
Oh yeah, it does. Oh my god.
And did we mention that it's an hour and a half? It's 90 minutes.
That should have been on the news, but the season
We'll bring it
finale
up next week.
we'll just talk about it now. We have to talk about the news too.
Yeah.
Season finale is 90 minutes long, so set your DVRs for an hour and a half, even 10 minutes after.
You just have to record and it'll...
Sometimes you have to do it. My Comcast
Was that
does
TiVo?
Comcast.
Who has TiVo anymore?
TiVo. Nobody got TiVo.
Nobody got TiVo.
So next week we only have 2 shows to talk about.
Yes.
And then iZombie comes on after that.
And you'll be talking about
I will be talking about that because I'm so
I'll
excited.
watch the first episode.
You'll just watch the first episode, give your thoughts, and I will do a little Zach little recap.
If I enjoy it, I'll watch more. If not,
Zach will just talk about it. I know I'm going to enjoy it because I really like the show Veronica Mars, and that's the creators from it. Woo! You got some zombie breath over there. You got to get a breath mint.
Sorry, I was eating people.
Let's end this episode because we've been going on too long. I'm Zach.
I'm Dante.
And as always, like,
comment,
and subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next one. And as always, I love you.
And we're the Bad Game Boys. Bye, guys.